of University of Charleston head coach Pat Kirkland. Heading into the season, you carry the league's second longest winning streak. What changed at the end of last season, and how will that affect your team this year?
Yeah, we played some good football teams towards the end of the year, and had some success. And probably the biggest change in the offseason is this: we got a year older, and going in through spring, I think they're taking more pride and ownership of the football program. Obviously, when you have a new system, there's always some transition. So I'm excited. Everybody says the best thing that happened to us, I feel, is just we grew up and got a year older.
The Golden Eagles open up with 2 Thursday night home games. Why is the move away from the traditional Saturday games? And talk about your 2 non-conference opponents to start the season.
We open up 2 Thursday nights. First one is Thursday, August 30th at 7 p.m. At home against Shaw University. Very athletic football team. They've got the ability. They got some playmakers. So we've got to make sure we have a great preseason, that we're ready to go. And I felt a Thursday night game, I wanted to really be the only show in town and kind of have a great atmosphere. I'm excited about the possibility of having a great crowd, and we'll see. But then we go back the following Thursday against St. Joseph's, and another team that I think they're excited about their future. We definitely got to take care of business those first 2 weeks.
The first West Virginia Conference game comes against defending champion Concord down at their place, and then followed up with that is the preseason favorite in Shepherd. How do you go about attacking your first 2 weeks of conference play?
I think this football conference is since I was in it the first time back in 2004, top to bottom, you got to be ready to play every week. Obviously, Concord and Shepherd both had tremendous seasons last year. Very well coached, good athletes. We've got to make sure that when we play those games, we make them earn everything. We take care of the football, create opportunities for our offense. And they're excited about their seasons, and so are we.
When your team got on the winning track in 2011, you scored at least 28 points in the last 4 games and topped 40 in 3 of them. What changed with your offense and your plan of attack?
I think what we saw is we got better up front. Obviously, Jordan Roberts is a tremendous football player, and we did a better job of putting him in a position where he could make plays. Our offensive line was young last year. They got better each week, and I also saw some wide receivers that were making some plays. We moved the ball down the field, which also created opportunities for the running game.
Everyone wants to know about Jordan Roberts, All-American. Between himself, Maurice Leak, and George Davila receiving preseason All-American nods, talk about your offense this season.
Well, I think offensively, they're the strength of our football team. We've got a tremendous amount of talent returning. We're better up front. I think we filled some needs at offensive line with some key guys coming in our recruiting class. We're going to go as Jordan goes. He's going to definitely carry the load. I think what you're going to see is a quarterback in Maurice Leak now that is making better decisions pre-snap of where to go with the football. And when you got a guy like that has the ability prior to the play to adjust and call audibles, that's tremendous for your offense because he makes the wheels go, and he can run it, he can throw. We have Jordan. I think we surrounded him with some playmakers on the outside now.
You talked a little bit about Jordan Roberts, but he also spent some time on special teams last year, which helped him rank as number 2 in the country in all-purpose yards. But you also have in the kicking game Puma Nuruddini. Talk a little bit about your special teams and where you expect them to go this year.
Well, I think special teams is definitely, we've got to capitalize a little bit more this year. We've got a first-team all-conference, kicker in Puma, and he's got a tremendous leg, and we ask a lot of him. We've got to make sure that we're sound in the kicking game, and you never want to go into a game and have that beat you. Last year it hurt us in a couple games, and we put a lot of emphasis on that in spring ball. So moving forward, I think we're in a position now where special teams can help us, in a close game where we can win that battle.
A lot of the games in 2011 were shootout type games where opponents were scoring more than 20 points a game. What are you changing on the defensive scheme this year to attack the style of play that you're seeing in the West Virginia Conference?
I think everybody's got playmakers, and defensively you got to be sound and not give up the big play. We were a little bit young, and we gave up some big plays last year that hurt us. We've got to get off the field on 3rd down, and I was not by any means happy with our performance on third down last fall. We did put a big emphasis on that in the springtime, and like I said earlier, I think it's just we're a year older, and I think our talent has upgraded through recruiting and some guys that we have going in, but it's all about getting the ball back to your offense to create opportunities for them.
And creating opportunities. Are there any defensive playmakers that you've seen come out of the spring practice that you look like going to be difference makers, I guess, coming into the fall?
I think up front, our two seniors, Dylan March and Jeff Green, are definitely leaders on defense. They're seniors, they're guys that have been there before. They understand what it takes to win, how to prepare, and they've helped our young guys get in that mold. It's not just getting excited for a game on Saturday, it's being able to have that emotion, have that enthusiasm on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Therefore, on Saturday, you're in a position to win football games because of the work that you put in all week. Matt Duncan had a great spring, our Sam linebacker. So I think in the back end, Coach Shell's done a tremendous job with our secondary. I think you're going to see a lot more in playmakers back there this fall.
Give us some thoughts about the rest of the West Virginia Conference. We know there's a tremendous amount of parity this year, and a lot of coaches have seen 4 or 5 teams that could possibly compete for the top of the conference. Where do you think you'll land, or where do you think you're going to be at for the year and the rest of the conference?
Well, I think it's a very competitive conference, top to bottom. Every week you better be ready to go, regardless who you're playing, home, away, all the above. Obviously, our goal is to compete each week to win the conference. You win our home games. But you can't take a week off in this conference. And obviously we open up with a very competitive conference schedule with Concord and Shepherd. So you better be ready to play. It puts that much more emphasis on your preseason camp that you got to get it in. And you don't have those warm-up games. We're going to hit the ground running. But I've just been overly impressed with the amount of talent in this conference and the way that the players compete, the passion that they have for the game. And I think you're going to see it's going to come down to the last, to the end of the regular season before I think anybody's really defined as who that team's going to be.
All right, good luck this season, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.